Welcome, curious minds, to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting genuinely well-informed, helping you cut through all the noise and, get straight to the insights that matter.
That's the plan.
Today, we're embarking on a really captivating journey, I think. A deep, delicious plunge into the world of a tropical fruit. One that holds a pretty special place in history, culture, and definitely cuisine.
Absolutely.
We've gathered a fascinating stack of sources, everything from detailed botanical analyses to some incredible culinary notes on homemade preserves.
Right.
And our mission, as always, is to pull out those gleaming nuggets of knowledge and insight specifically for you.
Precisely. And our focus today is the often misunderstood yet undeniably alluring Ackee.
Ackee.
This isn't just any fruit. It's really a saga of botanical wonder, historical migration, and a culinary tradition that's steeped in both delight and, importantly, very careful preparation.
Right, that safety aspect we hear about.
Exactly. We've drawn our insights from a rich tapestry of info, including the Shrimp Boat Spread M, which is honestly a truly inspiring guide to homemade food spreads.
Oh, nice.
And the very detailed Ackee Wikipedia.pdf, which really dives into its botanical details and historical significance. And then there's the wonderfully practical Ackee Tropical Culinary Seduction in 6 Preserves.
6 preserves. Okay, I'm looking forward to that part.
Yeah, together, these sources should really illuminate the multifaceted story of this, remarkable fruit.
Absolutely. So our deep dive today is going to unfold in several fascinating layers. First, we'll uncover Ackee's incredible journey, trace its origins and try to understand how it climbed the ranks to become a national symbol. Then we'll unravel its unique biology, paying really crucial attention to those safety considerations that are, let's face it, absolutely paramount when you're preparing it.
Non-negotiable, really.
Exactly. And finally, with that foundational knowledge firmly in place, we're going to plunge headfirst into its incredible culinary versatility. We'll showcase its potential, particularly through that collection of tantalizing homemade preserves you mentioned.
That's the delicious part.
Our goal is to provide you with a thorough yet wonderfully accessible understanding. So, yeah, let's jump right in.
Okay, let's unpack this. It's not every day a fruit becomes a national emblem, right? Let alone one with such a, dramatic backstory. How did Ackee, with this captivating and, somewhat controversial history, transform from its ancestral lands into a culinary staple and eventually the national fruit of Jamaica?
It's a truly remarkable botanical journey. It really is. It spans continents and centuries. The Ackee, scientifically it's known as Blaia sapida.
Blaia sapida.
And it holds a fascinating position within the botanical world. It belongs to the Saponaceae family.
Saponaceae. What else is in that?
Well, that's the soapberry family. So
Yeah.
This means it shares genetic lineage with other more exotic, often sweet fruits you might know, like lychee and longan. Really? Lychee? That's surprising.
It is, isn't it? You might not immediately connect Ackee with those, but this family tie often dictates shared characteristics in, fruit development and even certain protective compounds, which, as we'll definitely get into, is particularly relevant for Ackee.
Ah, okay. Protective compounds. Got it.
Its native roots lie deep within the vibrant tropical regions of West Africa. It's thrived there for millennia, really, which is a testament to its resilience and its inherent value to the indigenous communities there.
That's a fascinating family tree connection. So, okay, ancient roots in West Africa. But how did it make that huge leap across the Atlantic to become such a defining part of Caribbean culture, especially in Jamaica? That's quite a journey, not just botanically, but culturally, too.
Yeah, and that's where a pretty famous figure from maritime history comes in, Captain William Bligh.
No way, the Mutiny on the Bounty guy.
Yes, the very same Captain Bligh. He enters our story in a pivotal, though maybe often overshadowed, role regarding Ackee. In 1793, Captain Bligh, who was known for his botanical voyages, not just the unfortunate ones,
Right.
he was instrumental in transporting the fruit from Jamaica to the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew, England.
Ah, okay. So he took it from Jamaica to England? I thought maybe he brought it to Jamaica.
No, it seems it was already established in Jamaica by then, likely arriving earlier through the transatlantic slave trade, as we'll touch on. Bligh's role was more about introducing it formally to European science.
Got it. Okay.
And this introduction to the scientific community led to its formal botanical naming, Blaia septa, honoring him.
Blaia. Makes sense now.
And there's also a beautiful linguistic thread connecting the fruit directly to its heritage. Its common English name, Ackee, is a direct phonetic adaptation. It comes from its West African Akan language name, Akifufo.
Akifufo, wow.
Yeah, it really highlights how deeply embedded the fruit was in the cultures where it originated.
That's a great historical hook, connecting it to such a well-known, if infamous, figure. But beyond its name and origins, tell us a bit about the ackee tree itself. How does this fruit actually grow? Because, when we talk about a fruit that needs to be just right for consumption, its natural characteristics become even more important, right?
Yeah.
Especially for a curious home cook.
Precisely. The ackee tree itself is, well, it's quite an elegant evergreen, a majestic presence in the landscape, typically growing to about 10 meters tall. That's roughly 30 feet or so, though it can sometimes reach up to 20 meters in really ideal conditions.
Pretty substantial tree then.
Oh yeah, it's characterized by a relatively short, sturdy trunk and a really dense, lush crown, which gives great shade. Its leaves are a particular botanical identifier. They're peripinnately compound.
Peri what now?
Peripinnately compound. It just means they have an even number of leaflets arranged in opposing pairs along a central stem. Think of feathers, sort of.
Okay, pairs of leaves, got it.
These leaves usually measure between 15 and 30 centimeters long, so about 6 to 12 inches. Each one has 6 to 10 elliptical to oblong kind of leathery leaflets. Each leaflet is about 8 to 12 centimeters long and 5 to 8 centimeters wide. Leathery leaves.
You might not think about leaf structure often, but it's one of nature's subtle clues, about a plant's heritage and how it develops its unique fruit.
Right.
When it comes to flowering, during the warmer months, the tree produces these fragrant inflorescences.
Inflorescence is a fancy word for flower clusters.
Exactly. Basically, dense clusters of flowers on a stalk, sometimes up to 20 centimeters long. They're small, unisexual flowers.
Meaning male or female.
Correct. Each flower is either male or female. It's a common strategy for plants to ensure cross-pollination and robust fruit production. These flowers have 5 fragrant greenish-white petals. They're subtle, but quite beautiful, signaling the promise of the fruit to come. And then there's the fruit itself. With its very distinctive look and, as you mentioned, a rather dramatic way of announcing its readiness. That transformation is absolutely key to its story, isn't it? It's almost like the tree itself is giving us a visual cue for safety.
It absolutely is, and you've hit upon a critical insight there. The fruit itself is quite distinctive, visually arresting as it develops. It's pear-shaped, usually featuring 3 prominent lobes, though sometimes you'll find variations with 2 or even 4.
3 lobes, usually.
Okay. As it ripens, it undergoes this beautiful, almost theatrical color change. It transitions from a, standard green to a vibrant red and finally to a warm yellow-orange.
Quite the show.
It is. And this color shift isn't just aesthetic, it's a prelude to the most important indicator for consumption. The fruit visibly splits open while still on the branch.
It splits open on its own.
Yes. This natural splitting is often described poetically as the fruit having yawned or smiled, and that visual cue is the infallible signal that the fruit is mature and ready for safe harvesting.
Wow. Yawned or smiled. I like that.
Inside, once it's open, it reveals 3 large, glossy black seeds. Each one is partly enveloped by a soft, creamy, or spongy white to yellow flesh. This flesh is the aril. That's the edible part.
The aril, right.
And it's truly unique. Its flavor is often described as subtly nut-like, with a delicate, almost buttery undertone. And its texture, once cooked, is remarkably akin to scrambled eggs.
So scrambled eggs, that's the comparison I've heard. So strange for a fruit.
It really is. Typically, each fruit weighs between 100 and 200 grams, so maybe a quarter to half a pound. And while the tree can produce fruit throughout the year in its ideal tropical climate, its peak seasons are usually January to March and October to November, so it provides a pretty continuous bounty.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for us home cooks and culinary explorers. You mentioned different types earlier. Not all Ackees are created equal, right? Like apples, there are different varieties, and that must significantly impact their culinary application and even how they're processed commercially. What are the key distinctions there?
That's a very keen observation, and yes, it's crucial for understanding Ackee's versatility. There's actually a surprising diversity within Ackee, with up to 48 known cultivars, each subtly different.
48, wow.
Yeah, but generally they're grouped into 2 main categories, the butter types and the cheese types.
Butter and cheese, okay, tell me more.
The cheese-type Ackee is typically pale yellow in color and possesses a more robust, firmer texture. This characteristic makes it particularly well-suited for the canning industry.
Ah, so it holds up better.
Exactly. Its resilience allows it to withstand the processing and maintain its form. Its firmer consistency means it holds up beautifully in transport and long-term storage, which is why it's the type you're most likely to encounter in a tin at the supermarket.
Makes sense. And the butter type?
The butter type is usually a deeper, richer yellow and has a much more delicate, tender texture.
Yeah.
More crumbly, maybe. Yes, much softer. This characteristic makes it highly prized for fresh consumption and certain specific culinary applications where a softer, more melt-in-your-mouth quality is desired.
Like maybe just sautéing it.
Precisely. Imagine using the delicate butter type in a light sauté where it can gently crumble and become really creamy versus the cheese type, which would hold its shape much better in, say, a hearty stew or the classic ackee and saltfish.
Interesting. So yeah, depending on what you're trying to create in the kitchen, the cultivar you use, if you have a choice, can make a significant difference to the final dish.
Oh, absolutely.
So we've explored its botany, its fascinating journey from West Africa, Captain Bligh, different types. But how does all of this connect to its profound cultural impact, especially in Jamaica? It's clearly much more than just a fruit there. It seems woven into the very fabric of identity.
Oh, much, much more indeed. Tea was imported to Jamaica from West Africa even before 1773. The historical consensus points towards it being brought by enslaved West Africans who carried their culinary traditions and knowledge of the fruit with them.
Right, that makes sense, given the history.
Its integration into Jamaican cuisine has been so profound, so complete, that it's now inextricably linked with the island's identity. It holds the esteemed position of being the national fruit of Jamaica.
The national fruit.
A symbol recognized globally, and perhaps even more famously, ackee and saltfish is the official national dish.
The national dish, I knew that one. Ackee and saltfish. It sounds interesting. Salty fish and a fruit.
It sounds unusual, but it's a culinary icon celebrated globally. It really embodies the fusion of African heritage, European influences like the salted cod, and Caribbean innovation. It works beautifully.
I'll have to trust you on that one for now. Or maybe try.
You should. The fruit also weaves its way into the cultural fabric in other, more intimate ways. For instance, it's immortalized in the beloved Jamaican Mento-style folk song Linstead Market.
Oh, yeah. How does that go?
Well, there's a line where a market seller laments, "Carry me Ackee, a Linstead market, not a quaddie worth sell."
Not a quaddie worth. A quaddie is like a small coin.
Exactly, a very small amount. It's a poignant line that speaks to the everyday struggle and the fruit's central role in local commerce and daily life back then.
Wow. That really grounds it in people's lives.
It does. And even contemporary music has embraced it. The British band The Beat, on their 1982 album Special Beat Service, included a song called Ackee 123.
Huh. So its cultural reach continues.
Definitely. It shows its continued relevance.
Beyond the plate and the songs, does ackee have any other surprising uses or traditional roles? Things that might not be immediately obvious to someone just encountering the fruit for the first time? It seems like a plant that offers so much.
It certainly does. Its utility extends far beyond just food, showcasing its comprehensive value in traditional societies. In West Africa and even in some rural areas of the Caribbean, its soap properties have been traditionally harnessed.
Soap from the fruit.
Well, from the unripe pods and even the seeds, they contain saponins which create a lather, so they were effective as a natural laundering agent for clothes.
Wow, like a natural detergent.
Pretty much. More surprisingly, perhaps, these same compounds were sometimes employed as a fish poison.
Whoa, okay. How did that work?
They'd use it to stun fish in rivers and streams, making them easier to capture. It's a testament to the ingenious use of natural resources, though obviously requires careful handling.
No kidding. Okay, what else?
Well, the tree's fragrant flowers aren't just for attracting pollinators. Their delicate aroma makes them desirable for decoration or even in crafting traditional colognes.
Fragrant flowers, too.
And the wood itself, the durable heartwood of the ackee tree, has practical applications in construction. It's prized for its strength and resilience, making it suitable for things like pilings, oars, paddles, and even casks for storage.
A useful tree all around.
Very much so. Furthermore, in various African traditional medicine systems, the ripe arils, leaves, or bark have been steeped and used to treat minor ailments, reflecting a more holistic understanding of the plant's properties.
Traditional medicine, too.
And here's a truly fascinating historical note. The seeds themselves, because they're fairly consistent in size and weight, were once used as standardized weights for weighing gold dust, particularly in West Africa.
Get out. Seeds used to weigh gold.
Yes. This practice was so prevalent that it actually influenced currency. The British colonial administration in the former colony of Gold Coast, which is modern-day Ghana, actually issued currency named the Gold Coast Ackee.
An Ackee coin,
Yeah.
named after the seed.
Precisely. It truly highlights its multifaceted historical and cultural value, extending far beyond simple food to commerce and even units of measure.
That's incredible.
And it also goes by many vernacular names across Africa, reflecting its deep heritage. Names like Finsan in Bambara, Kei Sowi in Kabi, sorry if I butchered the pronunciation there, Ian in Yoruba, Kira in Dagar, and Atsa in Yue. Each name is like a linguistic thread connecting it back to its origins and the diverse cultures that cherished it.
That's a truly rich tapestry of heritage and utility. But you've mentioned its notorious reputation earlier, and for many curious chefs and learners out there, myself included, this is kind of the elephant in the room. We've heard whispers, even stark warnings about ackee being poisonous. How do we reconcile this cultural gem with its forbidden side? How do we approach this delicacy safely, especially knowing its incredible cultural importance? There seems to be a real paradox here, doesn't there? A balance between danger and delight.
You've absolutely hit on the critical point, and it is a paradox that needs careful understanding, not fear, but respect. Ackee has indeed held a long-standing reputation as being poisonous, and sadly, there have been documented cases of fatalities, especially historically, if consumed improperly.
Okay, so the reputation isn't entirely unfounded.
Not entirely, but here's the crucial part. The arils, that fleshy part we eat of the ripe fruit, are renowned as delicious when prepared properly and cooked. The danger lies specifically in the presence of certain natural compounds. They're known as soapberry toxins, technically hypoglycin A and hypoglycin B.
Hypoglycin A and B.
Hypoglycin A is found in both the seeds and the arils, though in much, much higher concentrations in the seeds and, crucially, the unripe fruit. Hypoglycin B, on the other hand, is found only in the seeds.
So the seeds are definitely out.
Definitely out. Now, in the arils of a fully ripe fruit, one that has split open naturally, these toxins are present only in minimal, generally safe quantities. The real issue, and where the danger skyrockets, is with unripe fruit.
How much worse is unripe fruit?
The concentrations of these toxins in unripe fruit can be 10 to even 100 times greater than in the ripe aril. It depends on factors like the season and how much sun the fruit got.
10 to 100 times. That's
Right.
yeah, that's significant.
It's a huge difference. So it's not that the entire fruit is inherently deadly at all times, but there's a very specific, non-negotiable window and method for making it safe to eat.
That's a huge difference, and frankly, quite unsettling to hear about the scale of toxicity in unripe fruit. So if these compounds, these hypoglycins, are so dangerous, how exactly do they do their damage in the body? And knowing that, what are the absolute non-negotiable rules for anyone daring to try this fruit? Are there common mistakes people make that we need to avoid at all costs?
Absolutely. Let's break down the mechanism first. When consumed, these hypoglycin molecules A and B undergo a complex conversion in the body. They metabolize into something called methylene cyclopropylacetic acid, or MCPA.
MCPA, okay, don't need to remember that, you said.
Probably not the full name, no. But it's this new compound, MCPA, that's the real antagonist here. MCPA is highly toxic because it inhibits several key enzymes that are involved in the beta oxidation of fatty acids.
Good oxidation. This is
Yeah.
breaking down fats for energy, right?
Exactly. It's the crucial process by which your body breaks down fats for fuel. When this process is disrupted by MCPA, your body rapidly depletes its glucose stores, its readily available sugar energy, because it can't access fat for fuel effectively.
So it forces the body to burn through sugar really fast.
Precisely. And this leads to severe hypoglycemia, which is dangerously low blood sugar. This whole condition is famously known as Jamaican vomiting sickness.
Jamaican vomiting sickness. Sounds pretty descriptive.
It is. It's characterized by sudden, violent vomiting, often severe abdominal pain, and profound weakness. In severe cases, particularly in children or individuals who might be malnourished or have compromised health, it can tragically lead to coma, seizures, and it can indeed be fatal.
Wow. Okay, that sounds incredibly serious. So given that, what are the golden rules? The absolute non-negotiables for safe ackee preparation. This is vital information for anyone wanting to try it, and I imagine there's very, very little room for error here.
There is very little room. There are 3 critical safety measures that must be followed, and I really can't stress their importance enough for your safety and your enjoyment. First and foremost, ripeness is key.
Okay, number 1, ripeness.
The ackee must be allowed to open fully and naturally while it is still on the tree before it is picked. That natural splitting, that yawning or smiling we talked about, is the only infallible indicator that it is safe to proceed.
So you absolutely cannot pick it green and wait for it to split or force it open.
Absolutely not. Picking or consuming a key that has not naturally opened or trying to pry it open is extremely dangerous. The unripe arils will be highly toxic. This is probably the single most common mistake and certainly the most hazardous one.
Got it. Wait for the smile. What's number 2?
Second, always discard the seeds. The large, glossy black seeds must always be completely removed and discarded. Never, ever consume them as they contain the highest concentrations of the toxins, particularly hypoglycin B. You also need to remove the pinkish membranes sometimes found at the base of the aril.
Okay, no seeds, no pink stuff. And number 3.
Third, blanching is essential. Once the fresh, firm arils are removed from the naturally opened fruit and the seeds are discarded, they must be parboiled. Typically, this is done in salted water or sometimes milk for several minutes, and then that blanching water must be discarded.
Blanching, like you do with some vegetables. Why is that essential?
It's a vital step that further reduces any potentially remaining residual natural compounds, including any lingering hyperglycin A, and it also helps firm up the texture slightly before cooking. It ensures their safety for consumption.
Okay, so 3 rules. 1, ripe means naturally split open on the tree. 2, discard all seeds and pink membrane. 3, always blanch the arils in boiling water and discard the water.
Exactly. To reaffirm, these toxic effects, this Jamaican vomiting sickness, occur only when the unripe aril or an inedible part, like the seeds or the pod itself, is consumed. Following these 3 rules meticulously transforms a potentially hazardous fruit into a truly delightful and safe delicacy.
That's a fascinating and crucial scientific explanation. It's almost like the fruit itself literally tells you when it's safe to eat, if you just listen, or rather, watch for the smile. And speaking of science, was there a breakthrough in understanding how this detoxification process happens within the fruit itself? How does it go from dangerous to safe just by splitting open?
There was, actually, and it's quite an elegant example of a plant's inherent protective mechanisms. Research published back in 2011 shed significant light on this very process. It revealed that as the Ackee fruit ripens on the tree, the seeds actually play an active, vital role in detoxification.
The seeds help. I thought they were the dangerous part.
They contain the toxins, yes, but they also act as a sink during the final ripening stage. They effectively draw the hypoglycin A out of the arils, the part we want to eat, and convert it into hypoglycin B, which is then safely stored within the seeds themselves.
Whoa. So the seeds pull the bad stuff out of the flesh and store it.
Essentially, yes. This natural conversion process, which is triggered by the final ripening and splitting of the fruit, effectively reduces the concentration of hypoglycin A in the edible arils down to a level that is generally considered safe for human consumption, provided you still follow the preparation rules, especially blanching.
That is amazing. It's a wonderful example of nature's biochemical wisdom at work, isn't it? Making this delicious fruit accessible, if we simply suspect its natural cues and processes.
Exactly. It makes you appreciate the wisdom embedded in traditional preparation methods. Even more generations clearly learn to trust these natural signals and develop the necessary steps like blanching.
Absolutely. So knowing these safety measures are understood and that the ripe, properly prepared fruit is safe, a whole world of culinary possibilities opens up, doesn't it? Beyond these intricate preserves we'll get to soon, what are some of the more traditional ways ackee is enjoyed in the Caribbean once it's been safely prepped?
Oh, absolutely. Once you understand and respect those safety measures, ackee truly transforms into a remarkably versatile ingredient. It behaves almost like a savory vegetable or perhaps a delicate nut in cooking. Beyond the scope of preserves, traditional Caribbean cooking methods often involve taking those blanched arils and simply frying them gently in butter or oil.
Just fried?
Yes, this method really highlights their unique texture and mild, nutty flavor. It often results in a dish that has a pleasant creaminess with slightly crispy edges. It's delicious just like that, maybe with some black pepper.
Sounds simple and good.
And of course, it's famously cooked with salted codfish, which is rehydrated and flaked, along with various aromatic vegetables like onions, sweet peppers, tomatoes, maybe some Scotch bonnet for heat. That combination creates the iconic national dish of Jamaica, ackee and saltfish.
Right, the national dish again. The saltfish must provide a nice contrast.
It does. It's a perfect balance of savory, salty fish, the slight sweetness and creamy texture of the ackee, and the aromatic vegetables. You'll also find ackee added to hearty stews, where it lends its unique texture and mild flavor to rich, slow-cooked meals. It kind of absorbs the flavors of the stew beautifully.
Like tofu, maybe, in its ability to absorb flavors.
A little bit, perhaps, but with its own distinct texture and subtle flavor. It's also incorporated into flavorful curries, again, often acting as a wonderful vehicle for the spices. Or it might be folded into comforting soups or simply mixed into rice dishes with a medley of aromatic seasonings.
So pretty versatile in savory cooking.
Extremely. Its unique texture and mild, nutty flavor make it a fantastic complement to a wide array of ingredients, absorbing and enhancing other flavors beautifully without overpowering them.
What's fascinating here is how we're not just learning a recipe, but the very science and history behind a safe and delicious ingredient. It truly brings together so many threads of knowledge, botany, history, chemistry, culture. Yeah. And beyond just flavor and texture, what kind of nutritional punch does ackee pack when prepared correctly? Is it just empty calories, or does it offer something more?
It's actually quite nutritious, offering a surprisingly robust profile, especially for something considered a fruit. Ackee contains moderate amounts of carbohydrates and protein, but what's particularly noteworthy is its fat content.
High in fat for a fruit, like avocado.
Somewhat similar in that regard, yes. About 51 to 58% of the dry weight of the arils is composed of fat, primarily fatty acids. These include beneficial linoleic acid, which is an essential omega-6 fatty acid important for cell function and inflammation regulation, along with palmitic and stearic acids.
So healthy fats, then.
Yes, primarily unsaturated and saturated fatty acids contributing valuable energy. So it's providing healthy fats, similar to what you might find in avocados or nuts, rather than just simple sugars.
Interesting. Any vitamins or minerals?
Additionally, the raw fruit, before blanching, is known to be a rich source of vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant vital for immune function.
Does the blanching destroy the vitamin C?
Blanching might slightly reduce some water-soluble vitamins like vitamin C. That's true for most vegetables too. However, the overall nutritional contribution, especially from the healthy fats and moderate protein, remains significant. So when prepared correctly, ackee offers not just a unique culinary experience, but also a valuable and somewhat unexpected contribution to one's diet.
Good to know. So it's not just tasty, it actually brings something worthwhile to the table nutritionally. Okay, so with our newfound respect for ackee's incredible journey, its cultural significance, and a solid, really solid understanding of its safe and nutritious preparation, we can finally turn our attention to the sheer joy of cooking with it. And today, you mentioned we're really leaning into the philosophy of the shrimp boat spread M. That sounds intriguing. It encourages escaping ordinary flavors and embracing extraordinary homemade creations, particularly in the realm of fruit preserves.
And that's exactly what Spread M, the complete guide to homemade fruit spread, is all about. It's far more than just a collection of recipes. It's really an entire concept, an invitation to a deeper culinary adventure, you could say.
Okay.
The book beautifully speaks of craving sunshine on your tongue, of escaping the predictable and sometimes, let's be honest, bland world of mass-produced spreads.
Yeah, they can be pretty one-note sometimes.
Exactly. And instead transforming the vibrant essence of fruit into jars of pure homemade magic. It invites you to imagine sun-warmed mangoes, ripe blackberries, plump figs, and yes, the delicate ackee, each whispering tales of tropical beaches and promising a symphony of sweet and tart, citrus and spice, all captured in a jar.
That's some evocative language.
It really is. It champions the idea that homemade isn't just, maybe better, it's a journey of discovery, a way to connect with the ingredients.
That sounds incredibly appealing. It's not just about canning fruit then, it's about a deeper connection to food and maybe a personal culinary expression.
That's the core inspiration, I think. It's about coaxing out those hidden harmonies in fruit, crafting jams and preserves that sing with the true soul of fruit. It's really a call to move beyond the sterile jars or predictable flavors you find on the supermarket shelf.
Right.
And instead to explore this whole kaleidoscope of possibilities. Each jar becomes a unique masterpiece born from your own kitchen, whether it's featuring the delicate whisper of elderflowers or maybe the fiery passion of habaneros mixed in.
Wow, habaneros and jam. Okay.
Why not? It's an invitation to reconnect with nature's bounty, to savor the seasonal cycles, to share the sun-kissed sweetness of your labor, and ultimately to create lasting memories through the simple, satisfying act of preserving.
That's a lovely philosophy.
And ackee, with its unique, mild flavor, that buttery texture, and its fantastic capacity to absorb other ingredients, it perfectly embodies this spirit. It acts as a wonderful, versatile canvas in this diverse palette alongside the more expected mangoes, blackberries, and figs. It really underscores its incredible yet often overlooked potential in the world of homemade preserves.
This raises an important question then. We've covered the general safety rules for ackee consumption, the big three. But what are the specific golden rules when embarking on this delicious adventure with ackee, particularly for making preserves? Are there any specific tips for ackee mastery, as one of the sources called it, that home cooks should absolutely keep in mind when working with it in these kinds of recipes? Going beyond just the basic don't poison yourself guidelines.
Absolutely, especially when you're aiming for perfection in preserves, where texture and flavor balance are key. Our source, Ackee, Tropical Culinary Seduction, provides some excellent tips for ackee mastery that are crucial for any home cook venturing into ackee preserves.
Okay, lay them on us.
First, regarding selection. When you're choosing fresh ackee cods, assuming you're lucky enough to find them fresh and they've already naturally split open, always opt for pods that are firm and have that characteristic slightly yellow or reddish yellow color. Crucially, avoid any pods that look cracked beyond the natural split, discolored, bruised, or feel soft or mushy to the touch. These could indicate damage or that the fruit is overripe and possibly compromised even if it's split naturally.
So look for firm, nicely colored, naturally split pods.
Got it.
Second, and this is a reiteration because of its paramount importance even in preserves, mandatory blanching. You must always blanch the ackee arrows before using them in any recipe, including preserves.
Still got it blanched. This step is non-negotiable. As we said, it involves a brief boil, usually just a few minutes, in salted water, followed by draining thoroughly. Discard that water. It's crucial for both safety and achieving the right texture in the final preserve. It removes any bitterness too.
Safety and texture. Makes sense. What's next?
Third, when you're crafting preserves, remember sweetness control. The recipes provide guidelines, but feel free to adjust the amount of sugar in each recipe to suit your personal desires and also the natural sweetness of any other fruit you might be pairing the ackee with.
So you can tweak the sugar.
Definitely. Some people prefer a tartar spread, others a much sweeter one, and ackee itself is fairly neutral, so it's forgiving enough to allow this customization. Taste as you go, carefully of course.
Good tip. And finally,
For storage. Once your delicious homemade ackee preserves are made and cooled, store them in airtight containers in the refrigerator. They should keep well for up to 2 weeks this way, allowing you to enjoy their freshness and vibrant flavor.
2 weeks in the fridge. What about longer storage?
For longer preservation, you'd need to use proper canning techniques, sterilizing jars, processing in a water bath, that sort of thing, just like with any other fruit preserve if you want it to be shelf stable.
Yeah.
But for fresh enjoyment, 2 weeks in the fridge is a good guideline.
Okay, perfect. Selection, mandatory blanching, sweetness control, and proper storage.
Got it.
Following these tips will ensure both safety and delicious, consistent results when making these preserves.
Exactly.
Now, this is where it truly gets exciting. We have, as you mentioned, 6 intoxicating preserves that showcase ackee's alluring versatility. This takes it way beyond the savory national dish and into this whole realm of sweet, tangy, and even subtly spiced delights. This is where we truly see ackee as a canvas for culinary artistry, proving it can absolutely hold its own against any other fruit in the preserve world. Let's delve into each one, from those translucent jellies you hinted at to rich, almost savory compotes.
Indeed. These preserves really demonstrate the full spectrum of ackee's potential. They transform its mild, buttery arrows into entirely new sensory experiences, proving just how adaptable it is in both sweet and, as we'll see, even some savory-leaning applications within the preserve category.
Okay, let's kick things off with what sounds like a delicate and elegant beginning. Ackee jelly, a translucent tease. What makes this particular preserve so special, and how does ackee contribute to that delicate character? It sounds almost ethereal.
Ackee jelly is truly a delicate, translucent creation. The description calls it liquid sunshine captured in a jar, which I think is quite lovely.
Liquid sunshine, nice.
Its beauty lies in its elegant simplicity and the way it allows ackee's subtle essence to shine through without the texture of the arrow itself. The key ingredients listed are fresh, blanched ackee, apple juice, sugar, and powdered pectin.
Apple juice. Why apple juice?
Good question. Apple juice serves a couple of purposes here. It provides a complementary fruitiness that pairs well with the mild ackee, and importantly, apples are naturally high in pectin, which helps the jelly set properly. It adds structure.
Ah, okay, natural setting power.
Exactly. The preparation begins with what the source calls fruit seduction. You blend the de-seeded blanched ackee until it's perfectly smooth, almost like a puree. Then, and this is crucial for the clarity, you carefully strain it, maybe through cheesecloth, to capture just this golden nectar.
So you strain out all the solids?
Yes. For a true jelly, you want that clarity. This pure ackee essence, this nectar, is then combined with the apple juice, sugar, and additional powdered pectin just to ensure a good set. They're whisked together until everything dissolves into perfect harmony.
Okay.
Then it's brought to a rolling boil until it reaches what's described as its silky peak, that point where it sheets off a spoon correctly, indicating it will set. It transforms into this clear, vibrant expression of tropical flavor.
Sounds beautiful. What about the nutrition?
Nutritionally, one serving, which they define as about a quarter cup, provides approximately 240 calories. It has about 60 grams of carbohydrates, including 18 grams of sugar and 2 grams of fiber. It's also highlighted as a good source of vitamin C and potassium, which is a nice bonus for a sweet treat.
Still getting some goodness in there.
And the unique insight here, I think, is how Ackee's mild, almost buttery undertone, even when it's strained into a clear jelly, provides an unexpected depth and richness that many simpler fruit jellies might lack. It elevates it beyond just a simple sweet spread.
That sounds absolutely lovely, a perfect balance of delicate flavor and beautiful appearance. How would someone best enjoy this translucent tease? What are the serving suggestions?
The serving suggestions are quite versatile, really allowing you to showcase its elegance. You could simply spread it on warm toast for a bright tropical start to your morning, or layer it with Greek yogurt and fresh fruits, maybe some berries or mango for a cooling, visually appealing parfait.
Ooh, a parfait sounds nice.
It's also perfect for elevating an afternoon tea ritual. Serve it alongside scones or delicate pastries where its subtle flavor won't overpower the baked goods.
Right, it wouldn't compete too much.
Exactly. And for a surprising savory twist, which I find intriguing, it can be used as a delicate glaze for grilled chicken or maybe a white fish like snapper or mahi-mahi. Just brush it on near the end of cooking. It adds a subtle sweetness and what the source calls a sultry tropical caress to savory dishes, creating a wonderful sweet and savory balance.
A glaze. That's a clever idea. Okay, moving from the delicate jelly to something with perhaps a bit more punch. Next up is Ackee Jam, a symphony of tropical heat. That title alone conjures up some vibrant imagery. What makes this jam a symphony, and how do the chosen ingredients contribute to that profile?
It absolutely does. Ackee jam is indeed portrayed as a more vibrant and passionate spread, described as a sensual journey of flavor. It's definitely stepping up the intensity from the jelly.
Okay, what's in it?
The key ingredients here are fresh blanched ackee, crushed pineapple, importantly, including its juice, which adds flavor, acidity, and moisture sugar, of course, and a tablespoon of grated fresh ginger. That ginger adds the crucial fiery whisper and aromatic warmth.
Pineapple and ginger. That sounds like a classic tropical combo.
It really is. The process described starts with tropical fusion, where the blanched ackee meets the crushed pineapple. Their essences intertwine, creating a robust base with more texture than the jelly.
So you keep the ackee pieces in this one.
Yes, it's a jam, so you'll have the soft texture of the cooked ackee along with the bits of pineapple. Then comes sweet alchemy, where the sugar dissolves into the bubbling mixture. The grated ginger joins what's called the intimate dance, infusing the jam with its characteristic spicy warmth.
I love ginger.
This culinary crescendo involves cooking it over medium heat, stirring frequently until the mixture thickens to that perfect jam consistency. It absorbs the pineapple's juicy sweetness and the ginger's warming, zesty touch beautifully.
Sounds richer, definitely. How about the stats?
Each serving, again about a quarter cup, is approximately 280 calories. It has 68 grams of carbohydrates, including 22 grams of sugar and 2 grams of fiber. And it's noted as a good source of vitamin C and vitamin A, likely boosted by the pineapple.
Vitamin A too, interesting.
The insight here, I think, is how Ackee's creamy texture pairs so well with the slightly fibrous texture of the crushed pineapple, creating a really satisfying mouthfeel. Its own wildness allows the bright, tangy pineapple and that spicy ginger to truly sing without being overshadowed. It's a supporting player that adds body and richness.
That ginger sounds like a wonderful addition, giving it a bit of a kick and adding complexity without overwhelming the ackee. What are the best ways to savor this symphony of tropical heat?
Well, for serving, this jam is incredibly versatile because of that sweet heat. You can spread it generously on warm toast or a croissant, of course, for a truly Caribbean-infused morning indulgence that wakes up your palate.
Definitely a wake-up call.
It pairs beautifully with creamy desserts. Think about spooning it over cheesecake or just a scoop of good vanilla bean ice cream. That tropical heat provides a vibrant contrast to the cool sweetness described as a tropical climax.
Oh, cheesecake with a key pineapple ginger jam.
Okay. It also works wonderfully as a glaze for grilled chicken or pork, maybe ribs, infusing each bite with that unexpected island heat and sweetness.
Nice savory application, too.
And for a more sophisticated application, it's a fantastic accompaniment to a cheese board. Imagine it alongside a sharp cheddar or maybe a creamy brie. Its sweet, tangy, and spicy notes can create a delightful balance with savory cheeses, offering both temptation and satisfaction.
Great ideas. Okay, moving beyond the delicate jelly and the spice jam, our next creation promises a pure expression of the fruit itself. Ackee preserve. A golden embrace from paradise. This sounds like it really lets the ackee itself be the star, allowing its natural character to shine through more simply.
Yes, this preserve truly allows Ackee's golden curves and tender flesh, as the source puts it, to shine through. It promises a pure, almost unadulterated expression of the fruit's natural beauty and flavor, more so than the jam or jelly, perhaps.
So simpler ingredients.
Very simple yet potent. The ingredients are just fresh blanched ackee, sugar, and a tablespoon of lemon juice. That lemon juice adds a crucial teasing tang that brightens the overall profile and also helps with the setting, providing acidity.
Just ackee, sugar, lemon, classic preserve style.
Exactly. The process begins with a golden invitation, which involves gently cooking the blanched ackee pieces, highlighting their silky perfection and inviting texture without breaking them down completely. In sweet harmony, the ackee pieces surrender to the sugar's caress, their mild flavor absorbing the sweetness. The lemon juice is added here to awaken the fruit's natural brightness and, as I said, aid in the setting process.
So you want the ackee pieces to stay somewhat intact.
Yes, that's characteristic of a preserve versus a jam. The culinary passion step involves simmering gently, allowing the ackee pieces to absorb this sweet tart syrup, deepening their golden hue and concentrating their flavor while maintaining their shape as much as possible.
Sounds lovely.
Nutrition. A serving provides around 260 calories, 64 grams of carbohydrates with 16 grams of sugar, and 2 grams of fiber. It's also noted as a good source of vitamin B6 and potassium.
B6 and potassium, interesting.
The real magic here, I think, is how Ackee's unique, delicate texture, that slightly soft, scrambled egg-like quality, transforms in the simple preparation. It becomes wonderfully soft, almost fluffy within the syrup, holding its shape while still being incredibly tender. It's quite unlike typical firm fruit preserves.
A golden embrace from paradise. Sounds like the perfect indulgent way to start the day. How do you recommend enjoying it? Where does it shine?
Well, it's wonderfully versatile for various meals and moments. You can spread it generously on freshly baked croissants or perhaps some buttery scones. That golden embrace truly elevates your breakfast or tea time.
Croissants.
It pairs wonderfully with a variety of rich, creamy cheeses for a textured and flavorful experience on a cheese board. Think brie again, or maybe a goat cheese. Its gentle sweetness can cut through the savory notes beautifully, described as a flavorful seduction.
Nice.
Layering it with Greek yogurt and granola creates a breakfast parfait that awakens with tropical whispers, offering both flavor and visual appeal with those whole pieces of ackee suspended in syrup.
Pretty parfait.
And it also serves beautifully as a filling for pastries, maybe thumbprint cookies or small tarts, or just as a simple, decadent topping for desserts like panna cotta, pound cake, or even just spooned over vanilla pudding. It adds layers of texture and that unique forbidden sweetness, as the source calls it.
Forbidden sweetness. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, now for something a bit more substantial sounding. A rich combination of textures and flavors. Ackee can serve. A tapestry of tropical temptations. This sounds quite complex and indulgent, almost like a chunky fruit spread, maybe.
This conserve is indeed presented as a rich, textured creation, truly a forbidden fusion of tropical flavors and varied textures. It's definitely chunkier than the preserve.
Okay, what goes into this tapestry?
The ingredients are fresh blanched ackee, a generous half cup of chopped mixed dried fruits. The source specifically suggests apricots, dates, and figs, chosen for their distinct sweetness and chewiness sugar, and a quarter cup of chopped nuts, suggesting either walnuts or almonds, which provide that delightful contrast in texture and a layer of nutty richness.
Dried fruit and nuts. Okay, so definitely chunkier and richer.
Absolutely. The forbidden fusion step involves blending the ackee's velvety curves, meaning the soft pieces, with the chewy, concentrated sweetness of those dried fruits and sugar. Then comes nutty seduction, where the satisfying crunch and earthy flavor of the nuts are introduced, creating wonderful textural pleasures that contrast with the soft ackee and chewy fruit.
Sounds like a lot going on, texture-wise.
It is. The culinary composition sees this whole ensemble cooked over medium heat, allowing the ackee to beautifully embrace the dried fruits and nuts, melding together to form what's called a rich tapestry of textures and flavors. The ackee sort of holds it all together.
Interesting. What's the nutritional picture? Must be higher in calories.
It is a bit higher. Nutritionally, a serving offers approximately 280 calories. It has 73 grams of carbohydrates, and notably 38 grams of sugar due to the dried fruit. But it also has 5 grams of fiber, which is higher than the others, and 8 grams of healthy fats from the nuts. It's noted as a good source of iron and magnesium as well.
More fiber and healthy fats. Makes sense with the nuts and dried fruit.
The true insight here, I think, is how the relatively neutral ackee provides this soft, buttery base that gently binds all these disparate textures and flavors, the chewy, the crunchy, the soft. It allows the dried fruits and nuts to really shine while contributing its own unique, mild character and richness to the overall conserve.
That sounds incredibly hearty and complex. The description, tropical fruit cake in a jar, comes to mind. What are the best applications for this vibrant tapestry? How would you use it?
Given its richness and complex texture, it's fantastic spread on freshly baked croissants or maybe some toasted brioche for a morning embrace. Embrace that, as the source says, awakens every sense. It definitely provides a substantial and flavorful start to your day.
More than just jam on toast, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It also pairs exceptionally well with a variety of cheeses, especially sharper or aged varieties like a good Gruyere or an aged Gouda. It creates a really textured and flavorful seduction on your cheese board, where its sweetness, chewiness, and nuttiness provide a fantastic counterpoint.
Cheese board star potential.
Definitely. For a truly indulgent breakfast, layer it with Greek yogurt and granola for a parfait that whispers of tropical mornings, offering both satiety and a complex mix of flavors.
A very hearty parfait.
And it's a truly irresistible filling for pastries, maybe small turnovers or strudels, or even just use as a decadent topping for desserts like baked apples or spooned warm over vanilla ice cream. It adds layers of texture and that irresistible complex flavor profile.
Sounds delicious. Okay, shifting gears slightly from the chunkier preserves, we now have Ackee fruit butter. A velvety caress from the islands. This sounds wonderfully smooth, luxurious, and maybe comforting.
This is truly described as a luscious, smooth, and velvety creation like satin against your skin is the evocative phrase used. It really focuses on showcasing Ackee's inherent creaminess when cooked down completely.
So, different texture entirely. What's in it?
The key ingredients are fresh blanched ackee, a quarter cup of honey, notably honey, not sugar, which weaves sweet magic and provides a distinct floral sweetness, and warming spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, providing those warming whispers and aromatic depth.
Honey instead of sugar.
Interesting.
And spices.
Yes. The process starts with a velvety invitation, focusing on gently simmering the blanched ackee, perhaps with a little water or juice, until it breaks down significantly, enhancing its creamy potential. In Honey's Kiss, the cooked ackee melts into honey's golden richness, the honey complementing its natural nuttiness beautifully.
So you cook the ackee until it's super soft first.
Exactly. Maybe even mash it or blend it after cooking. The spiced awakening then introduces the comforting notes of cinnamon and nutmeg, adding that depth and aromatic pleasure that evokes tropical warmth.
Cinnamon and nutmeg. Classic combo.
The culinary bliss involves simmering this mixture over low heat, stirring constantly until a velvety perfection is achieved. The ackee absorbs the honey and spices, creating a spread that is incredibly smooth and easily spreadable, much like apple butter.
Ah, like apple butter consistency. Got it. Nutrition.
A serving provides approximately 220 calories, 52 grams of carbohydrates, with 32 grams of sugar, mostly from the honey, and 1 gram of fiber. It's noted as a good source of manganese and vitamin A.
Lower fiber, as expected with a smooth butter.
Right. The unique aspect of this fruit butter is how Ackee's delicate structure breaks down so completely to form this exceptionally smooth puree. It really allows the added flavors of honey and spice to meld seamlessly, resulting in a comforting, almost custard-like spread, which is quite different from the other preserves.
That sounds incredibly versatile, actually.
Yeah.
Perfect for so many different uses beyond just toast, maybe. What are your top suggestions for enjoying this velvety fruit butter?
It's wonderfully versatile indeed. You can spread it generously on warm muffins, maybe some corn muffins or croissants for a morning caress with a definite tropical twist, offering a more nuanced sweetness than typical jam.
Nice on muffins.
blend a spoonful into your morning smoothie. It would add creaminess, that exotic flavor, and some nutritional value.
Good smoothie idea.
It also makes a fantastic smooth filling for pastries, particularly things like hand pies or turnovers where you want a smooth filling. Or use it as a decadent topping for desserts like rice pudding, warm crepes, or even swirled into oatmeal. It creates these lovely waves of sweetness and spice.
Swirled into oatmeal. I like that.
And for a simple yet luxurious treat, just swirl it into plain Greek yogurt, perhaps with a sprinkle of toasted nuts or granola, for an instant tropical indulgence without much effort.
Lots of uses for that one. Okay, and finally, rounding out our 6 seductive preserves, we have Ackee compote, a tropical tease in every spoonful. Now, this one has some intriguing savory elements I noticed when looking at the ingredients, making it quite unique in this collection.
You're absolutely right to notice that. This compote is depicted as a complex tropical temptation with a delightful array of contrasting textures and flavors, and it definitely embraces those savory undertones you spotted. It blurs the lines a bit.
Okay, so what's in this tropical tease?
The ingredients are fresh blanched ackee, diced mango for a vibrant interlude, and burst of juicy sweetness, finely chopped red onion. There's the savory hint, which adds a crucial, subtle savory undertone and aromatic depth.
Red onion in a compote.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Intriguing, isn't it? Also, raisins for those bursts of concentrated sweetness, a splash of apple cider vinegar for a tangy awakening and to balance the sweetness, and brown sugar, which adds a deeper molasses note compared to white sugar.
Mango, red onion, raisins, vinegar, brown sugar. Wow, that's quite a mix.
It really is. The process described starts with a seductive prelude, highlighting the Ackee's tender flesh as the base. Then, mango's caress adds the sweet and juicy mango, creating this dynamic dance of contrasting textures and flavors right away.
Ackee and mango, nice start.
The savory whisper of that finely chopped red onion then deepens the compote's complexity. It acts as a secret player, weaving intrigue and grounding the pure fruitiness. It's not overpowering, just a hint.
A savory base note.
Okay. Raisin's sweet surrender adds that nostalgic pleasure and little pockets of concentrated sugar, while the tangy awakening from the apple cider vinegar provides essential acidity. It cuts through the sweetness of the mango, raisins, and brown sugar and brightens the whole profile.
Acidity is key in preserves.
Absolutely. The culinary climax is simmering all these diverse ingredients together until they meld into a vibrant, chunky compote, creating what the source comes pure ecstasy in a jar.
Sounds complex. Nutrition-wise.
Nutritionally, a serving has approximately 220 calories, 48 grams of carbohydrates, with 35 grams of sugar, 3 grams of fiber, and 1 gram of healthy fats. It's also noted as a good source of vitamin C and potassium, likely from the mango and ackee.
The genius of this compote, it seems, lies in its unexpected combination of sweet and savory elements. Leveraging Ackee's mildness again to harmonize these bold flavors, mango, onion, vinegar, creating a truly versatile condiment, not just a sweet spread.
Exactly. It pushes the boundaries of what you might expect from an ackee preserve.
That combination of sweet, tangy, and savory sounds absolutely incredible, quite unlike any other preserve we've discussed. How would you recommend serving this vibrant compote to truly highlight its unique profile? It feels like it could go in many directions.
This compote truly shines in versatile applications, really straddling the line between a preserve and something like a chutney or a relish. It can be served as a vibrant salsa alongside grilled fish. Imagine that with salmon or tuna or grilled chicken for a tropical feast. Let the complex flavors tease your palate and provide a fresh, zesty counterpoint to the richness of the grilled meat.
Like a tropical salsa, great idea.
It also works beautifully, if unexpectedly, as a topping for vanilla ice cream or perhaps a plain cheesecake. Its unique blend of sweet, tangy, and savory notes creates a dessert that really delights with its contrasting textures and flavor dimensions. It would be a conversation starter.
Definitely a conversation starter.
Yeah.
Savory onion notes on cheesecake. Okay.
For a refreshing breakfast indulgence, maybe spread it generously on toasted bagels, perhaps with cream cheese, or on muffins for a surprising and invigorating start to your day. That sweet, savory thing can work really well in the morning.
Bagel with cream cheese and Ackee mango onion compote.
And for a unique and memorable addition to your entertaining, pair it with a variety of creamy or sharp cheeses on a cheese board. It would be fantastic with goat cheese or feta, maybe. It showcases Ackee's incredible versatility in a truly surprising and sophisticated way.
Wow, what an incredible journey we've taken today. Seriously. from its origins way back in West Africa to becoming the national fruit of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Understanding is fascinating, yet, let's be honest, cautionary biology. And now seeing it transformed into these 6 incredibly diverse and intoxicating preserves, the Ackee truly is a culinary marvel, isn't it?
It really is remarkable.
We started this deep dive with the promise of uncovering hidden gems, and I really think we've delivered today. To see Ackee evolve from a fruit with a critical safety warning attached to a national delicacy celebrated in savory dishes, and now, as we've seen, an ingredient for such endless culinary creativity in preserves. It's just fascinating. It's a real testament to human ingenuity and maybe respect for nature's nuances.
It truly is, and this exploration emphasizes not just the vibrant essence of ackee itself, but also how that essence can be carefully, thoughtfully transformed into those jars of pure homemade magic, as the shrimp boat spread M so beautifully puts it.
Right.
But the underlying message, the one that really cannot be stressed enough throughout this whole discussion, is the absolute importance of proper preparation. It bears repeating. Waiting for the fruit to ripen naturally until it yaws or smiles open on the tree, meticulously discarding those toxic seeds and the membrane, and of course always blanching the arils before you do anything else with them.
The big 3 rules. Got them locked in now.
This deep dive truly reaffirms that knowledge that is understood, respected, and correctly applied is not just fascinating, but ultimately invaluable. It's what turns potential danger into delicious opportunity.
Wonderfully put. And that brings us to our final thought for you, our curious listener. If a fruit like Ackee, with its initial warnings and its somewhat complex biology, can be transformed into such a diverse and truly delicious array of culinary delights, from jellies to compotes, through careful understanding and the right preparation, well, what other overlooked or potentially challenging natural bounties might be waiting out there for you to unlock their secrets?
Good question.
Maybe something in your own garden or at a local market. What requires just a bit of curiosity, maybe some research like we did today, and the right approach to reveal its hidden potential? What culinary aha moments, what hidden flavors are just waiting to be discovered? We really hope this deep dive into the world of Ackee inspires you to explore,